Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift
revolutionary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, get the body till we black out. Black out. So get the fuck up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name's Dan Davis, and joining me in the commentary box one last time this season is my good friend and rival, Jamie Brasier. How are you doing this evening, Jamie, and are you looking forward to tonight's race?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Dan, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing the conclusion to the Pro Championship and seeing who is going to be our Pro Champion.
Definitely, indeed. A brand new champion will be crowned here in the pros with Gary out of the title at the minute. Well, I say for the minute, he's definitely out of the title for this one. But also, no, not myself on the grid either to defend the title. So we will have a new champion, and it is down to 3. Matahimovic, your last season's Pro-Am champion. Can he win the Pro in his first attempt? Fury CBK also currently out on track at the minute. Fury, touring car champion this season as well. Also won the Pro-Am himself. Can he go and finally get that title after coming behind Gary and myself for a couple of seasons? But also, the other man that would have been up for the title, but sadly is not here and on holiday, is Overtaker Jamie. Matt's main rival isn't here, and Fury's got a lot to work to do, but sad that Overtaker can't finish the season.
Yeah, it is just very sad that Overtaker can't finish the season. So Fury's got a big job to do to try and overhaul Matt, and say with Overtaker here it would have been a bit closer. But Matt's kind of probably got one hand on the title now, unless something catastrophically bad happens to him tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. And Fury, he has got a mountain to climb. The current championship standings look like this going into the final round. Matimovic still leads the way, but he's got 30 points over Overtaker, and he has 43 over Fury. Now, there's 54 points still available. Matt just needs to go out and have a decent race to basically win this title over Fury. Fury needs to win, take fastest lap and pole position, really do everything that he could possibly do, but at the same time Matt needs to finish, we believe, 10th or higher, no sorry, 9th or higher, and he'll win the title in this first race. Another also thing to mention as well is there's going to be 2 special drivers night as well. Smoky Devil, this is going to be his 100th appearance in the first race here this evening, so it's nice to see the Smoky Devil has reached that milestone, and more importantly this man here, Peaceful Explosion, crashing in a very unique way.
Getting his pirouettes in early.
Getting his pirouettes in early. The first man ever to win a race at Simplay Motorsport back in season 1 at round 1. It's going to be Peaceful Explosions, 150th in race 2. But Jamie, like I said, sad that Overtaker's not here, but what does Fury have to do tonight? I know it's a lot for him to do. He's still mathematically in it. He's got a lot of support in the chat, and hello to everybody in the chat as well, to Disco, Peaceful, PN Motorsport, Cody, and Fury's granddad as well. What does Fury need to do tonight? Because at this rate, Matt is looking unbeatable.
Yeah, Fury's just got to go out and win both races. He's got to be perfect all night and just hope that Matt messes up. The thing for Fury is it's not in his own hands. Fury could go and win both races, but Matt could finish down in 7th, not have a good night, finish 7th and 8th, and he still wins the title. So Fury's just got to hope that Matt's results go in his favour.
He does indeed, and possibly so. The Fury's probably been going around and asking for some friendships, to trying to get as many people on his side to try and stop Matt as much as possible. But he is in the right car, he's in the right zone. Can he stop this man? That is the question. But there's still loads of still going on here as well. There's still many fights to be fought. Peaceful and D-Biggs, only a point separating those two for 5th and 6th place. Also, we've got Sutty Apex, who currently isn't in the set. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's not actually too far behind them either. KLF, he's not too far behind Smoky Devil, so there's still that fight. Mazda, can he score enough points to get ahead of Andy? He should be able to. Also, Emo Guy's just there as well. Argent also, but Nick and Max, what can they do for the final race of this season? And obviously, regarding the constructors, Jaeger Motorsport once again have taken the constructors here. They don't have to worry about it. Can Gary finish the season on a high after a couple of races with no race wins? Can he go a season with no race wins, or will here at Monza be where he will take that win? I'm just trying to see how close constructors are. Smoking Hot Racing and Audio Sport Pro Laps, only a point separating those two as well. So there's still loads up to grabs as well. Teletoy Motorsport can actually catch Silence of the Lambos as well to take 2nd in the championship. But Jamie, so much to go on, and we come to a very, very famous circuit, very well-known circuit as well. We are at the Temple of Speed of Monza, very popular track, and what a better way to finish the season off at this track.
Oh yeah, it's a brilliant way to finish the season off. So for the past 2 seasons, we've finished off with two brilliant tracks. We finished off with Spa last season in definitely different conditions to this. It's much nicer at Monza, but yeah. Ooh, Max just walloping the sausage curve. Yeah, Monza, it was a brilliant track. I've never had that much luck around here. I think my best finish around here is a 5th place, but you've definitely had more luck around this circuit. But yeah, it's definitely a track for top speed. So the likes of the Audi and the Ferrari are going to struggle quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. Last night definitely showed that the Audis were going to struggle, so will the Ferraris possibly as well. The Mercedes is going to be the dominant car for sure here this evening, and like you say, Jamie, I have had a bit of success here at Monza with the Porsche 911, taking 2 race wins last time out we were here, but it's not about previous times we've been here. It's all about these guys tonight. It's about Fury versus Matt for the title, who is going to come out on top. But also another exciting news coming your way as well, as obviously the GT3 action won't come to an end completely, as we will take a break from the Project Cars League. We'll return for season 7. What a season we have ahead of us. But we will be doing something completely different here at Simplay Motorsport. We'll be heading to ACC Isetta Corsa Competizione as well, where the Thursday nights will carry on, but instead we will be on that platform for the GT3 short season. I believe it's only 6 rounds. I will be bringing you that action. And Jamie, yourself, you're going to be on track as well. So are you excited for the ACC season?
Well, I am. Yes, I just still haven't decided my car.
That would be helpful if you, because it's only a week away to lights out.
Yeah, I've got to decide by Saturday. You could.
Oh, that's Matt facing the wrong way.
Yeah, Matt facing the wrong way. I did get called Mazda in Discord in the chat last night, but I haven't tested every car, so you can't quite call me Mazda yet.
So anybody who doesn't quite understand that reference, Mazda tends to be the man who doesn't quite know what car he wants to be in, and every round he wants to be in every single car. But nonetheless, though, Jamie, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. But also, what a season we've had here at Simplay Motorsport. This season is really, obviously, with myself and you stepping out, a few other drivers not returning, especially the Pro Laps boys. It's definitely given opportunities for other drivers, new drivers as well. And the fight between Matt and Overtaker has definitely been an iconic season as well. One that will be remembered here at Simplay.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been a brilliant season. We were stepping a bit into the unknown at the start of the season. I think there were 2 people we were looking at the start of the season. That was Andy and Fury, but Andy is no longer racing in the Pro, and Fury's still up there. But say Matt and Overtaker have definitely used the season to put their name out there in Simplay and try and claim a Pro title. Overtaker, we knew nothing about him at the start of the season. He come out of the blocks flying.
He did indeed. I know for a fact that obviously a load of other people racing in the online lobbies, we have come across Overtaker in the lobbies as well, so we knew how fast he was anyway. But yeah, it's nice to have Overtaker this season, and hopefully he can finish the season next season. And with the amount of drivers that could be coming in next season, Jamie, Pro could be one of its more difficult seasons for sure. Season 7 looks to be probably the hardest season yet.
Oh yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be one of the hardest seasons. I know you're definitely looking at it coming back. Richie's apparently looking at coming back. So Matt will more than likely return. Overtaker will return. Fury will return, and maybe we'll see Gary 131 back to his best. We'll perhaps see Sutty back to his best once he puts the wheel in the cupboard and goes on the pad. We also have Little H coming back as well, and we'll see Holty and JM Grill in the Pro for the first time as well.
We will indeed, and I've heard a few rumours going around that possibly a big boy Brasier is looking at possibly making a return. Is that just Chinese whispers, or is it a possible actual cards on the table situation?
Possible cards on the table. We'll see what tracks are drawn and see if everything lines into place. So there might not be any room for me, and I might just have to wait another season. But we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens, but more importantly, we got to focus on tonight's action, as Gary is at the top with his teammate. Currently at the minute is still Jaeger 1-2 as they are finishing the season off as a team. Fury currently in that P3 position at the minute, but right now I think Fury's probably keeping his cards close to his chest right now. But Monza, let's briefly talk about Monza. It's a very famous circuit here, 3.6 miles long, just north of Milan, built in 1922, the oldest Midland European circuit, and the most famous race that is held is the Italian Grand Prix. It's been here since 1949, the Temple of Speed as it's known. Grade 1, and obviously we've had the sad news today that the Aston Martin driver of Sebastian Vettel has decided to retire from F1 at the end of the season, and this is where he made his name, Jamie, at this circuit in a Toro Rosso in those horrific conditions. And what kind of a nice tribute, I would say, for us racing here in the honour of Vettel's awesome career.
Yeah, it's been such a brilliant career. When I saw the announcement that he'd retired, I think I could have burst out crying, because he's been the driver that I've kind of grown up with, back for his first title in 2010. Just say watching all of his races, and yeah, it's a fitting tribute to come here. But hopefully Seb enjoys the time with his family, and we'll see who gets into that Aston Martin seat.
Definitely so, and also a couple other things as well. Daniel Ricciardo was your last winner here at Monza in the McLaren. Pierre Gasly, also another famous win back in 2020. The track is... this was an interesting fact that I found out about Monza. Obviously, the earlier years, the killer years, as they've known as, Jamie, obviously a lot of drivers and a lot of spectators obviously lost their lives in motorsport. Can you have a guess of how many drivers lost their lives from this track alone?
Is it a 3-digit number or 2?
It's a 2-digit.
I'm gonna say 61.
You're not far off. It's 52 drivers have lost their lives to the old layout of Monza. And guys, if you can't quite see where the layout is, as Sati comes down the main straight, you would normally turn right pretty much immediately and then head into a banking. And we've had a brief go on this game with the old layout, and what a sketchy oval it actually is. But
yeah, it's very sketchy.
Very sketchy indeed. 52 drivers have lost their lives here, and also 35 spectators as well. So Monza has definitely taken its number of people as well. The record is still being held by Rubens Barrichello all the way back in 2004 in the Ferrari F1 car, and has done a 1:21.0. I definitely don't think we'll be getting near those times, but we have already smashed the GT3 record in real life, which has been set by M. Prava now, but in real life it was a GT3 record, was set in the Mercedes AMG, a 1:47.1 back in 2019. And one other fun fact for you as well, we ran the 6 hours of Monza, and that went of the way of Ben Parkey.
Also, with famous Monza wins, there was a famous Monza win the year before Pierre Gasly's win, with Charles Leclerc winning on home turf.
Yeah, in honour of
in honour of Antoine Hubert winning his first Italian Grand Prix in front of the Tifosi for Ferrari.
Yeah, definitely so. And one other thing that I did forget to mention is Gary131 took an amazing race win back in season 1. I can still like hear and visualise Matt and Andy losing their mind as they come through Parabolica, and Gary managed to get the slipstream and take the race win on the line on the last lap all the way back in season 1. What a race that was. Currently got a poll out at the minute for you guys of your title winner. Who is it going to go the way of, Matt or Fury? Currently 75% of you reckon it's going to go the way of Matahimovic. But Jamie, I was going to ask you, who's it going to go to? It looks like it's in Matt's favour, let's be honest. Fury, he can try as much as he can, but I really doubt he's got much to answer for.
No, I don't think he's got much chance for. I'm going to say Matt for pole position, but M. Plava for a race win.
Yeah, I think M. Plava's looking good for a possible race win. I think anybody in the AMG Mercedes will look good, even though Sati Apex is looking quite quick in the Lamborghini as well. So, but as you can see, Jamie, the Audis and the Ferraris are struggling.
They are indeed. Little Lich managed to get I think it was a double podium last night to round off his championship winning season in the Audi, and Shane looked very quick in the Audi, but this is perhaps a different kettle of fish. And yeah, as we can see, the top Audi at the minute is actually in 6th, so he's. And Mazda and Smokey seem to be struggling with their Mercedes.
Yeah, they do seem to be struggling a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they'll get themselves going. Especially Mazda, he tends to go very along with his setups, and he's quite the methodical thinker. But let's see who's in the chat. Let's hear from you guys as well. Emplava and Matt to rekindle old rivalry, take each other out, and let Fury dart into the distance. Says Disco ? Possibly so, but right now Max Mulder just struggling a little bit there. His teammate Neek is currently not here at the minute, but What a season those two have had as well. Obviously, Max coming in as older for the Pro-Ams. Now he's been put into the pros, and Nick also had a few races here as well. Really made a name for themselves here, and maybe next year with a clean slate, can they bring a bit of challenge to the pros as well?
Yeah, hopefully so. Nick last week getting his maiden podium in the Pro with a brilliant defensive drive against Matt and Overtaker. So definitely showing that he deserves to be in the Pro. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see what car they choose, whether they stick with the Audi, and hopefully they can have a good season. One thing we haven't talked about though is the relegation zones.
Yeah, definitely so. Totally forgot about that. Relegation is definitely a thing that some of these guys either want or don't want, but at the minute it's going to be something that the admins are going to decide. I think obviously the bottom three normally, but because we've had Max and Nick join the Pro, we've also had Andy and Disco leaving as well. It might possibly be something that the admins will have to discuss based on pace, but at the minute the rumours are it's possibly going to be this man, Monkey Boy, KLF 900 and Kieran Arjun, currently the three drivers possibly being relegated, but again it's down to the admins on what they want to do and decide. But I think for those three boys, obviously Pro getting a bit harder, and I think Kelly and Arjun have had good fun racing in the Pro, but I feel like they want to continue their rivalry back down in Pro-Am, don't you think?
Yeah, so Kelly's driving style in Pro, he's not quick, but he's very consistent. You can keep it on the track as he goes a little bit deep there, gets the
what's that, keeping on track?
He's not normally quite a stable person. It's Kelly. You look back at his Pro-Am races, and he was the victories he's taken in Pro-Am. He was never the quickest person on the track, but he was just always the one who kept it on the track. And I think if he goes back to Pro-Am next year, he'll thrive there. If Arjun goes back to Pro-Am, I think there'll be a long line of people queuing up for this man, so they can get a constructors title, and so they can get promoted to the Pro. Because I think every season Arjun's been in Pro-Am, his teammate has gone on and won Pro-Am.
Yeah, definitely so. The other man will be hot topic for Pro-Am as well, will be Smithy as well, after Little Leach went on and took his win. The other question is, Jamie, will the Leach brothers return back to one another? Will they be teammates again, or will Gary decide to stick with Matt for next season? What will Little Leach have to do?
Well, the rumours I've been hearing is that Gary is sticking with Matt for next season due to their constructors win. So the Leach brothers will be pitting it up against each other for the first time ever in the GT3s.
Bro versus bro as they go into season 7, and as we come to the end of practice, we will end the poll there, and it's 70% reckon that Matt will win the title here. 10 votes, so 7 of you believe that Matt is going to win the title. And already end of practice, and it is Emprava who is top of the table here. Is he going to go on and take a final pole position for himself here, or will Matt or Fury stop him in the process? That is the question. I am now going to pop up a vote up for pole position for race 1. But it is Emprava at top of the table, and he's looking good for this one at the minute, Jamie, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's near enough 2/10 quicker than Matt at the minute, so he's going to be looking good going into qualifying as everyone now heads out of track. So that spinner in the pit lane. Was that Argent spinning in the pit lane? I'm pretty sure that was one of the pushing limits Audis that I've just seen spin around in the pit lane.
Possibly so. I was too busy making the polls right now.
He's got a grid penalty as well.
As we got in the chat, Sneaker saying unfortunately can't make the race today. but it's been great to make 2 appearances this year, and I can't wait for next season. So I'm guessing that is Neek. So it's a shame that Neek can't make the final race of the season. He's here obviously supporting his teammate Max, but as you say, Jamie, Sati Apex speeding in the pit lane, and he will now get a grid position back. So it's a good thing I didn't put him for pole position then.
Yeah, it is a good thing. That the pit lane over the years has definitely seen some interesting things happen. I think, what was it, 2020 we saw Hamilton get his penalty, which led to Gasly winning, and we've also seen in season 1, well, she's spinning on the puzzle, or hitting a puzzle as he was coming into the pits. River ended up spinning around and coming backwards into the pit lane, which turned out to give me the Pro-Am title.
Yeah, we've had some interesting races here at Monza, not just obviously in the sim world, but in the real world as well. Jamie, we're just about to get into qualifying here. Monza, a very difficult circuit for qualifying. Obviously, for the guys in the Mercedes-Benz, they obviously want to go out on their own, and they want to just have clear track. But the likes of the Ferrari, the Audis and stuff like that, do you think they want to be chasing a Mercedes down and using it for tow? And also, who do you think will take pole position for the first race?
I'm going to say Emplava for pole position. If I was in the Ferrari or the Audi, I wouldn't be trying to find a Mercedes to tow off. I'd possibly be using my teammate to tow off of. So D-Biggs might be using Argent to tow off of. I just wouldn't want to be behind someone on a lap, because it would just mess the lap up. But I was speaking to people earlier on in the week, and when they were struggling with the track, and they said it's one of these tracks that you feels quite simple, so you can push really hard at, but you just end up making a lot of mistakes. So you go to someone like Oscherslaben last week, where the guys don't really know, so you just kind of go a bit slower and don't push too hard. But you come somewhere like here or Donington or trying to think of another track. You go, or like Le Mans, you go there and it's a track you know very well.
Yeah, it's definitely a Monza. It's definitely a circuit where you have to be on your A game. You can't make any mistakes, because that little bit of a wiggle, that little mistake in one corner, obviously with it being mainly straights, you ruins your whole lap. And Monkey Boy is going to be the first man as he comes through Ascari at a part of the circuit that's really difficult to get right. Some of the cars likes the curb. I know the Porsche loves riding the curbs, but I know for a fact the Lamborghini hates it. So it's a track where some cars will take advantage, some others won't.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes you can take a bit of curb as well. The Audi you definitely can't wallop them curves. But Monkey Boy is going to come to the line. So he's already done a lap time, but he's gone back to the pits. Mazda hasn't come out of the pits, so is Mazda going to qualify last? Monkey Boy comes over the line. It's on 1:50. It's Fury next. Fury across the line.
D-Biggs coming out of the pits as he does a 47.9, so we can go quicker than that. KLF does a 48.5, so good lap time for him. He was quicker than Argent, who is currently next. D-Biggs coming down the back straight. Gary 131 to the line. What can he do? And he goes just a bit, 44,000. He's got a toe off Gary there. Look at these two following one another. And Bravo to the line. He goes top of the table with a 46.9. The Latvian continues on from where he left off in practice, as Disco laughs at the fact that Jamie's mum has just called him out, and please we apologise for that one. But Max Mulder next coming to the line.
Yeah, it happens every week, Disco.
Every single week as Max comes to the line now in the Audi. The Audi that seems to be struggling, he reckons he's going to take pole position. Everybody go and have a beer, he says, and he goes P7. So you see already, Jamie, the Audis are struggling a bit. KLF's lap time has put P5, and what a lap time already from him.
Yeah, it's a brilliant lap time. Who have we got first? I think it's Monkey Boy again. Monkey Boy coming through. Ascari, bit wide there, and he gets onto the gravel, so he'll lose all of that time. So we'll go on board with Fury instead.
Tonight's comms is brought to you by Dan, Jamie, and Jamie's mum. Lol, says PN in the chat. But another thing to mention as well, obviously we're in Italy and obviously in front of the fans of the Tifosi, and they're going to really be hoping that Ferrari pull their finger out tonight, especially with Monkey Boy and Peaceful. Can they get the Ferrari at least on the podium tonight? Because that's what happens every time we come to Monza. Ferrari have to be on top.
Oh yeah, Ferrari, you've got to be on top. Fury's now going to come to the line. Can he gain anything on Gary? He does, but it's not enough to put him ahead. Kelly comes across the line. There's Matt coming across the line as well. Matt is going to go 1.2 quicker and goes on to pole by 7/10 of us. And Argent, no, I think that was D-Biggs actually. D-Biggs struggling. Peaceful 8th, and I think that was Smokey Devil in the background. Smokey coming to put a lap time in, and he only goes 12th. That is.
Gary's had a moment somewhere, that's why he's come into the pit. Sutty goes P5, he'll start alongside his teammate. Obviously, we'll start behind him now, but M. Prava has now been demoted here, and I will end the stream, not the stream, the poll there, and 45% of you reckon it will be Matt, then Fury, then Gary, and only 9% of you reckon M. Prava will take pole position, but he's on the front row at the minute.
Yeah, he is on the front row. There's a big clump of drivers, kind of Monkey Boy's just on his own a bit. I think I think Fury's made a mistake this lap because Kelly's got in front of him and he's a lot closer to Max. Kelly's abort in this lap, and I think Fury's taking himself up for another go. Gone ball with Monkey Boy as he comes into the final corner.
He does come into the Parabolica and he tries to get a good exit. He's managed to negotiate the final Ascari chicane after not touching the gravel towards the line in the Ferrari. Currently Monkey Boy P10. Can he get a little bit closer to his teammate? Can he get into the 40s? He crossed the line and he does not improve. Who's next to come around to Parabolica? There's Fury on the side. Fury's just trying to get some clear air, I reckon. Yeah,
I think Fury's to stop for a picnic.
I think Argent's the next one to come and lock across the line. No, it's a Lamborghini, and I think that was KLF.
It's D-Biggs, I think that's in. D-Biggs improves, and he goes up to P7. He's got Max in a slipstream behind. Fury comes to the line, but there's a car behind him. It's not peaceful. We've got go on board with Smokey, because Smokey's just come through the Parabolica as well. I think he's tapped the wall somewhere. Smokey at the minute, slowest of all. He's not really set a representable lap time, comes to the line, doesn't improve. I think that might have been an outlap from him. M. Plava in the background.
This is his outlap. Yeah, it's an outlap for M. Plava. He was into the pits. Now, can he recover and get this lap time under his belt? It's going to be his one and only shot. Matt still currently on pole position, only 7/10 ahead of M. Plava. Then it is Gary 131 in P3. But Kieran Arjic coming into Parabolica now. He will get another lap, as will Peaceful Explosion. And I think these two will be the last ones to set a lap time. And M. Plava is done for the session. He will not take pole position here. So M. Bravo will not go on to take pole. Matt is currently still on pole position. Can anyone find any more time? Argent towards the line, starting his lap now.
Yeah, Peaceful going to be the last. I tell you what, the two cars behind might be able to get across in time. I think these cars are all on
Monkey Boy?
Matt is done. The Monkey Boy's back in the pits. Is it? It's not
KLF.
Fear. It's Fear. There's two cars in front. I think it might be Max and D-Biggs.
So
and
these
Max is going to have been getting a lovely tow off D-Biggs. D-Biggs looks like he's been in the wall at some point. I think both Audis have. D-Biggs comes across the line. These are the last two to set a new that time. D-Biggs goes up to 4th. Max goes up to 6th.
So after Sutton and Kelly putting in some decent lap times, they will drop down the order. Fury, can he improve? No, he doesn't. He will start P5 as KLF comes towards the line. He doesn't improve. Sutty Apex, will he improve now? Comes to the line. No, he will stay P7, but eventually will be P8. Smoky Devil, as he finally put a lap time together towards the line, he comes. Currently P12. Can he get any bit higher than that? No, he stays P12.
Yeah, he's really struggling. quite a way off Monkey Boy as well. Mazda not doing a lap time. Peaceful's now coming through Scurry. He's 3/10 up on his lap time. He's looking to jump above the Audi of Argent and put himself in between KLF and Argent.
Problem for that Ferrari though, he is on all on his own, so he won't get any tow, he won't get any advantage of someone giving him a pull around, but he goes through Parabolica. Can Peaceful Explosion get himself into 9th place position? That is the question. Towards the line he comes, Peaceful Explosion. Has he done it?
Comes to the line now.
He does.
Yeah, he jumps above Argent. We've got another car heading towards
Gary,
the
is
line.
it?
No, it's D-Biggs.
D-Biggs
Now,
comes to the line.
Max has dropped a long way off D-Biggs. So I reckon Max is probably going to be done for the session. There's two cars further back, but I think they are done. So D-Biggs is going to be the last one to set a representable lap time. Comes across the line, does he improve anything? He does, he goes up to 3rd now.
D-Biggs, wow, what a lap time from him. We are just waiting for Max now as he comes through Parabolica. Probably going to do a practice into the pits as he does. Yeah. So, but Jamie, it's Matt on pole position, Fury with a lot of work to do.
He has indeed. And before D-Biggs had done his lap time, he was only 2,000 slower than him. But it's Matt Himovich on pole for the first race tonight. M. Palava, his Pro-Am rival, in 2nd. D-Biggs in the Audi in 3rd. Gary 131 in 4th. Fury in 5th with a lot of work to do. Max in 6th. Dutty in 7th, but he's got a grid penalty. KLF in 8th. Peaceful in 9th. Argent in 10th, Monkey Boy 11th, Smoky Devil 12th, and Mazda not setting a lap time down in 13th.
And that is your order here. Obviously, Seti with that penalty as well. The pit window for these guys will open at the end of lap 3 and will close on lap 13. So they'll have to make sure they pit before then. Lap 12 will be the last time they can pit. And Jamie, Matt's done everything right so far. An extra point to his name for pole position. And Fury is now P5 at this stage. So Fury's got a lot of work to do. Who are you looking at to take the win here for the first race?
I'm gonna say Emplava. So this one, I think Matt, if Emplava's putting him under any sort of pressure, I reckon Matt might just let him go and bank the points. But I reckon Emplava's probably gonna do this one. But Gary is going to be quite feisty as well because he still wants a race win.
I was just about to say I'm going to go the way of Gary 131. I think Gary is going to be wanting to push as hard as he possibly can to try and get himself at least a win this season because he hasn't had one. But guys, if you do like what you like here on Simplay Motorsport, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to be notified so you do not miss a single bit of action here at Simplay Motorsport. Even though the season's coming to an end, we still have loads of stuff going on here as the F2s will be returning back on track on Sunday nights as they will hit the track of Jeddah, and I know for a fact me and Jamie are not looking forward to that one. But also in a week's time,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not. As we come back in a week's time, we will have our first ACC season coming along as we head to, what is the first round of the season? I don't even know.
Silverstone.
We'll be heading to Silverstone, where motorsport is known for being home for, so make sure you tune in for that. But it is Matt Himovich who's on pole position with his old rival Emprava alongside. The res rise, the lights come off for the penultimate time this season. And we're green here, and Matt gets a decent start and pulls away. The Audi of D-Biggs did not move, but Fury is already on the hunt as Mazda, just in the background, is just weaving to get his tyres up to temperature as we head to turn 1 and then into Curva Grande as we all try and gingerly make our way through as Matt manages to negotiate the chicane and stay in front. A vote out currently for who you think is going to take the first win tonight. Jamie's going the way of Emprava. I'm going the way of Gary 131. Neither of us went for Matt, and it's Matt who leads the way. Everybody relatively clean through the chicane.
Yeah, they're all relatively clean, but Gary is attacking D-Biggs. We go on board with Fury as they come into the second chicane. Gary on the outside, D-Biggs on the inside. Oh, and there's a bit of a squeeze there. Gary's still there though. Fury's got to be careful. There's a flash from Gary there, but the top two are breaking away already. Where's... Oh, Gary just touched... Okay. Where's the Audi?
Oh, there's
that's an
Sutty.
Audi.
I think that's Sutty Apex in the grass there, and at the minute
That
also...
is.
KLF right now is right on the back of these guys as well, so he's really getting involved. Smoky Devil just in the background as well, just gone very, very wide, but Fury will get frustrated because he's got an Audi right behind him, and he's got the slow Audi of Biggs holding up Gary, and Gary's going to go down the inside of Ascari, and he gets the job done, but he pushes Biggs wide. Fury now makes contact with Max. Max has to straight line the chicane, and KLF is right there to pick up the pieces if need be, but Matt already 2.5 seconds gone.
Yeah, Monkey Boy's spun in the background. It's not been a good opening lap for the Ferrari. Here comes D-Biggs looking on the inside of Max. Not going to work there. But Fury has lost a position on his opening lap. Max runs quite wide, and Fury should be able to get back through. But Matt's got near enough a 3-second lead already. Here comes Kelly. Kelly's going to look to get involved in this as well.
He will be indeed. Fury will not be enjoying this. He is covered by cars left, right and centre. KLF, look at the speed he's got in the Lamborghini. He's going to look down the inside of turn 1 and he's going to pull out of that one as they all go in through turn 1. Fury, Biggs and Max all come together and somehow they all managed to get through the chicane there. Max has to cut the chicane, but he did lose out. KLF though, bravely had a look down the inside, but then realised there's no space for me and pulled out of it. Sutty Apex is getting on the back of this. This is all allowing Gary 131 to hunt down Emprava just up ahead.
They are, it is indeed. And here comes Kelly looking up the inside, but here comes Biggs. They're all having a look up the inside. Ooh, did Biggs? I think there might have been a little kiss there, but Biggs has run himself wide, and Max has got up the inside. Here comes Kelly as well, but Biggs defends.
Kelly will be absolutely loving this. It's been a while since he's been able to attack, and with all these guys being slow, he is getting right into the thick of it here, just ahead of his teammate of Sutty Apex, as KLF 900 is right on the back of D-Biggs. Meanwhile, Matt has managed to maintain his gap as Emprava is second, but Gary is starting to hunt down Emprava. Fury now also looking to try and catch him as KLF is trying to find a way past Biggs here, but he's flashing his lights at him.
Yeah, but Biggs gave him a bit of a barge there because Kelly was looking at the inside coming into Ascari. But look, Fury's already got a bit of a gap as well, and you can see in the background Mazda's got Smokey on the back of him. He's got Peaceful as well.
He has indeed, and Mazda is starting to eventually work his way through. Smoky Devil trying to defend from these two as well, as the gap between Emprava and Gary has come down to 4/10, so that's very close between those two. You can see the gap there as Max has now got ahead of Biggs in the background, but Biggs is coming back. Biggs has got very good straight line speed. Well, Max, by the sounds of things, he said in the chat that he was running 2 in 7 downforce, so he's carrying a lot of downforce on that Audi, considering it's not a downforce circuit, as KLF is right on the back of these boys as well.
Yeah, I think that's the sort of downforce I was running back in season 3, and that definitely did not work. It would be very good through the corners, but other than that, it won't be very good. Yeah,
Matt's made a mistake. Matt has made a mistake. He has lost a lot of time. He's lost pretty much a second there. So Emprava is just starting to reel him back in ever so slightly. Matt can't get complacent here. He has to focus on trying to at least finish this race, because he could win the title in this first race at the minute. But this is a cracking fight between Max, Biggs, and the two Audio Sport Lamborghinis of Sutty Apex and KLF.
Yeah, it is indeed. And we saw Mazda a little while ago. He actually lost a position to Smoky Devil, so it wasn't Smoky Devil defending, it was him attacking and Peaceful's attacking, so Mazda definitely not enjoying himself out there.
Oh, Smoky's had a moment.
Yeah, so he's also got side by side with Kenny. I think there's been a bit of team orders there.
Yeah, and if he doesn't manage to get past the two Audis, he'll probably allow the Lamborghini of his teammate back through, as Sutty and KLF aren't sticking to track limits there. Can't be doing that one too many times.
Yeah, all 4 of them didn't stick to track limits, as Gary's got past Emprava.
He has got past Emprava. Now, can Gary 131 hunt down his teammate? So Emprava losing applies to Gary, and it's Jaeger Motorsport 1-2 now, as the pit window has opened, lap 3, and they can come into the pits now. Is anyone going to bail for it, as everyone is still racing hard in the background? But Emprava down the inside of turn 1. Is he going to get it stopped just in time? He's struggling, but he gets it stopped, and Gary gives him a little tap.
Yeah, Gary gives him a little tap up the rear, but Empire went very tight to the corner. Oh, and Max has had a wiggle, and that'll end as the two. As Sutty's been spun around, Mazda's already into the pits, as is Peaceful. As the pit window opened.
Yep, as those guys come into the pits, they get their pit stops done out the way, and we have Max and Biggs coming together, which also hits Sutty Apex as well. So not what those guys would have wanted.
Ooh. I was only about to say that personally he's benefited a lot out of that is Argent, but he's not benefited from that anymore because he's just lost them two positions.
The man who benefited massively out of that was actually KLF. He's in P5 now, and he's lost these guys for dead right now as Peaceful and Mazda are finishing their pit stops. Peaceful was in there a while, so he was carrying damage by the looks of things. As
he's on his way out now. Gary's still right on the back of Emplava.
And both again, these two are catching Matt again. Matt just lost another second. He gains a second and then he loses it. So last lap, Emplava 48.1, Matt 47.6. And Emplava just in reach. You can just see the leader there. And KLF, I've got to tip my hats up to him at the minute. He is the best leading non-Mercedes driver. So good stuff from him in the Lamborghini P5. He'll be happy with that for sure if he can continue that kind of pace. But Gary 131 now on the back of Emplava, and I think Emplava's just so much stronger in a straight line. Gary's not even catching him in the toe.
No, he must be running like 0-1 downforce. If it was 0-0, you wouldn't see a rear wing on the back of that car. But D-Biggs just comes to the pits. Oh, Emplava's had a wiggle.
Biggs into the pits on lap 4, and yeah, he's had a wiggle there. But if I was Gary right now, I'd be using on Emplava because Emplava seems to be a little bit quicker than Matt at this stage. A 47.2 was his last lap. Also, Monkey Boy in the pits as well. So he seems to have a bit more pace than Matt at the minute. So maybe these two could tow each other and try and catch Matt towards the end of this race.
Yeah, they could, or you can use Emplava to stay ahead of Fury, because Fury is 2.5 seconds behind, and he was just a little bit slower, but Emplava's running wide, and that's going to give Gary the opportunity he needs. And he's going to be saying in the party chat right now, thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
He will, and off he goes. Emplava losing time as well, so that will just invite Fury to get a little bit closer as Max Mulder goes through the Lesmo 2. And we've got a lot of work to do now to catch onto the back of KLF, who's doing some very decent lap times at this stage. Currently in the 50s, while the guys around him are a little bit slower. Sutty Apex now looking to try and find a way past Argent, as the other pushing limits. Audi has gone into the pits of Biggs, and Argent runs a little bit wide, compromises his run through the chicane, and has to hit the brakes. Speaking of wide, Max Mulder goes even wider on the exit of Ascari, but he has lost time. As you can see here, Sutty Apex is reeling him in ever so slowly.
I think Argent actually spun as well, and Emplava comes into the pits. I saw Fury just closing onto the back of him, and Sutty drifting it around Parabolica. He's going to be in the slipstream, but is Max going to bail? He is indeed, and Sutty kind of does the dummy a bit there just to get the slipstream. But Emplava in the pits with Max, but Emplava's already on his way out.
Argent. I believe Argent's in as well, so all these guys coming in for relatively early pit stops. Obviously the pit window keeps open until the end of lap 12, so and I've seemed to have lost Argent on my list here. There he is.
Now the question is, will Matt, if Gary has a decent gap over Fury and Emplava, will Matt sacrifice a race win to Gary?
Well,
because we know how much Gary wants a race win, and Matt could be happy with second. Gary looks to be just getting that little bit closer.
Yeah, ever so slightly. I think if Matt loses time or has a spin, he's not really going to fight Gary. Gary's here to win a race. That's all he focuses and wants right now. He wants to win this race. But if he can get a little bit closer and in the toe of Matt, he could possibly do it. But he needs to get closer, and a lot closer.
Yeah, he needs to get closer, or Matt might let him through towards the end of the race. The two pushing limits Audis quite close to each other. Both of them have now pitted, and the pair of them have lost quite a bit of time to Max. Or Max has pitted, hasn't he?
Max has pitted, Max has pitted. Mazda, Argent, Biggs, Peaceful, and Monkey Boy, Anna and Brava have all pitted. We are still waiting for Matt, Gary, Fury, Kelly, Sutty, and we are also waiting for Smoky Devil as well to all make their mandatory pit stops. As again, the pros have a pit window. They must pit under. If they do not do so, they will get a penalty for it. And lap 3 to lap 12 is the pit window. And right now, the two Audis are going to try and tow one another and try and get themselves a little bit further up if they could possibly do so. But at the minute, currently, Mazda's just outlapping them at the minute as Biggs goes down the inside of Argent, and he should be able to get that place relatively easy.
Argent's still there as the two Audis go side by side down towards turn 1. Surely Argent is going to let D-Biggs have this, as he's got the inside, and he does indeed. You see Argent just break out a little bit earlier, and D-Biggs now up into the top 10.
He is indeed, and Matt seems to have got himself into a groove as Peaceful's into the pits once again. So he has had another pirouette somewhere, and he's got damage to the front of his car. And Peaceful is probably looking forward to the end of this season for sure, so he can start afresh again. But with the rumours of possibly Monkey Boy going down to Pro-Am, he's going to have to do a bit of teammate hunting as well, as Matt now comes into the pits on lap 7.
He does indeed. Gary has got to follow around, but Fury's coming in from the looks of it. He does indeed make sure you get that stop, Fury. He does.
Oh, he just about.
Is Kelly about to gain second place in this race? But I think Matt is already away. Matt is, and I think Fury's not away yet.
So here's the thing though, Matt's going to come out on track. It depends how long Kelly's going to go for. Gary's obviously gone long to avoid traffic, but also Matt is going to be stuck behind also the Lamborghini of Sutty Apex. So he's got those guys as traffic, but look who's in the background as well. M. Brava is coming at Matt. He is currently doing, he's done a 53-1. Peaceful comes back out on track. There's going to be a car between them, but Peaceful Explosion is going to be splitting Matt and Emprava. Emprava still not quite close enough as the times will just adjust. Actually, Matt gained time instead of lost, so Emprava's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, Emprava's got a lot of work to do, and he's now got Fury not far behind him either, so he's going to have to start thinking about the Mercedes of Fury if he wants a podium.
I've just noticed as well, our new Pro-Am champion and Constructor champion is in the chat. Lil Reach, he says evening all, and also a massive congratulations to himself and Smithy for their win last night here at Monza. Can Gary get a win under his belt? The question is now, Matt has obviously done his pit stop. Gary's going to go long by the looks of things. As Max Mulder is also back into the pits. He's lost a rear wing.
Yeah, he's got no rear wing, so that's Max's race one over and done with. This will give Monkey Boy 12th. Yeah,
so I was just about to say, with the fact that with Matt coming into the pits early, he has traffic to clear, while Gary 131 has lovely clean air. There's only one car separating him from anyone else, and that is Monkey Boy. The next car will be Argent, and Gary's got a lovely clean air, while Matt, by the looks of things on the times, is going to be close to Sutty Apex in a moment. But Kelly also doing relatively well, as we've lost the driver. I'm not sure who we've lost there. We've lost Peaceful Explosion. So Peaceful has retired. I wonder why Peaceful... Sorry, done. So Peaceful's had enough of this season, and he's done with race 1. He's probably going to go and test on ACC now. But Matt still currently in P4. He's catching the back of the Lamborghinis. As there's now Max Mulder will be holding up Matt's progress as well. So Gary 131 currently in the second sector, and he's not really gaining enough on Matt at this stage, but at the minute Gary really needs to hope that Matt gets stuck in this traffic so that he can try and jump Matt in the pits.
Yeah, see, the only person who should really be putting up a fight for that is Sutty, but Sutty should be into the pits sooner rather than them later, and then he just got to negotiate Max Boulder, but Max shouldn't defend too hard from Matt. And you can just see Emplaver in the background, and Emplaver's just, I thought he just gained a little bit, but it was just the times ebbing and flowing. Now Matt is going to get quite a nice slipstream off Max here.
He is indeed, but obviously with the back of the Audi a little bit slower in a straight line as Gary is now into the pit, so this should be interesting. Where is Gary going to fold out in? As he says, we'll be here for race 2, still need to make my 150th start, and the car is undrivable compared to testing. Have to hit the wall 4 times. As Gary 131 is in the pits, he's on his way already. So and Gary,
he's got Dingle Socky's window wipers.
He's doing a Dean tribute as Matt has gone past as well. So Gary's tactic hasn't quite worked. Has he going to lose out to Emplaver here? As yeah, he will. So Emplaver now jumps Gary 131. So staying out was the wrong decision. And KLF now leads this race. It's an Audio Sport Pro Laps 1-2 at the minute. But obviously both of these boys will have to pit soon. But I bet it's nice for them at the minute just to be sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're actually 1 and 2 at the start of the season, all the way back at Sakito's side. He just gets on the grass there.
As Smokey comes in on lap 9, so Smokey gets his pit stop done and out of the way, and Sutty will go past KLF now, as Matt at the minute has got it relatively easy at the minute, but he will be catching these 2 Lamborghinis up very shortly as they're flashing their lights right now. They are really enjoying leading this race here at Monza, and obviously a Lamborghini as well. Italian cars, they're going to be really happy at home soil right now.
Yeah, they are indeed. I think they're just happy. Happy to be on the stream. As you can see, Sutty just moving out of the way. He's just going to let Kelly back into the league where Kelly belongs. But I think Sutty made a bit of contact there. I
don't think they made contact. I think they just compromised their line, and if they keep doing this, Matt is not going to be impressed, because obviously if they make contact with him, they'll fall further down the field, and Fury
Gary's made a mistake. As is Fury. Look at how far Fury's behind. Fury's got a crumpled front end. So the 2 Lamborghinis at the front, they nearly made contact, like Matt and Gary, and famously Gordon Shedden and Matt Neal. Matt, you can thank me for that one later.
Kelly has come into the pits and he's got his pit stop done. So Sutty Apex is the only man still yet to pit, and he's allowed Matimovic through, and I bet man was screaming down the headset to Sutty saying, get out of my way. Gary has got damage. He's into the pits also. And a reminder, 13 drivers started, so 7 will not be allowed to qualify, and Fury's into the pits as well. Mazda might benefit from this.
Mazda could be on for a podium here. If
Kelly will be on the run for a podium here. Can KLF get his first podium this season in the Pro?
Oh, that would. I think everyone that's in play is going to be cheering Kelly on.
We might have to speak in the admin that he'll have to stay in the Pro now. But either way, come on, Kelly. Let's see you get on the podium one last time here. For the first time in the Pro, I believe. I don't actually think he's ever been on the podium in Pro. But Gary's got big damage.
Yeah, he's down to 10th.
Or, like, I think last time he had to do a few things before, but I don't know if that's the case now. But Gary is on his way back out, possibly damage to his car by the looks of things. But KLF currently has to wait for his teammate to pit. And can he get himself on the podium, as Sutty Apex right now is under immense pressure from Max, who's a lap down. So Max will obviously have to try and find... Either stick behind him or try and find a way past Sutty Apex. But, Sutty there, has he had a spin? No. Oh, he had a wiggle. His car went sideways big time.
Yeah, I think he was just doing his drift through Parabolica. And he's got a time penalty. This could gift Kelly a third place now. Should Kelly... all Kelly needs to do is keep it on the track. D-Biggs is attacking Mazda.
KLF 900, final race of the season. Gary may not get his win, but can KLF get a podium at least here in the Pro category? He would absolutely love that for sure, but He needs to make it to the end. He needs to stay squeaky clean. His teammate comes out of the pits. He's going to get the run on him, and KLF will overtake his teammate and will go up into P3.
He will go.
I'll tell you what, Jamie. Just before we came live, there's a tradition that Matt and KLF used to do when Kelly used to run in the Pro-Am, and that was they used to say to him, "See you on the podium." And at this rate, KLF 900 is possibly on his way to getting that podium. The old tradition that they used to do and used to work is working at this minute.
Yeah, it is. And he's got Sutty as his rear gunner, and Sutty, I think, has a 10-second penalty. We'll just double check on that. It is a 10-second penalty for Sutty Apex. So Sutty, all he's got to do is sit behind Kelly and just kind of defend from, if Mazda and D-Bigs do end up closing it up, then
but this is Sutty. This is Sutty Apex we're talking about. He would want to get past Kelly and disappear into the distance so he could get the podium. But either way, lightweight Sutty Apex is going to be looking after his teammate at this stage. But it's going to be old rivals at the minute. Mprava versus Matt Imovic. And Matt is just pulling away and possibly on his way to becoming pro champion.
Yeah, with Fury down in 9th at the minute, surely that must mean that Matt will win it this race.
Surely it will indeed, as Fury needed to outscore Matt here to win the title, as we will end the poll there. Matt for race winner at the minute. 10 of you voted for Matt. As we come into the final stages here, it's Sutty and KLF. You can hear Kelly. He's so gingerly on the throttle. He's so cautious with that Lamborghini. Can he bring it home? He's been in the season now, what, 2 seasons? No, is it 2? Yeah, 2 seasons in pro. He tried the McLaren didn't allow him to get a podium. Can the Lamborghini give it one last hurrah, or will Mazda and D-Bigs in the background try and hunt him down?
Yes, he's getting very close on the rear. There's about, I think there's five laps left, and Mazda is 6 seconds behind it. He's dropped D-Bigs slightly. Fury's now got past 20 levels, so that's a few more points back for Fury.
It is indeed, but I think Fury's attack is really going to come to a dismal end, because Matt is where he needs to be. I don't know why my keyboard keeps hitting 0, and it's done it again, and it's done it again. Oh, yeah, I think I know why.
Sutty's still on the back. D-Big's now closed right back up on Mazda, so I think Mazda's got quite a good straight line speed, but is not good in the corners, because look how much D-Bigs is all over the back of him.
As there's a short little poll out before the end of the race. Will KLF get that 3rd place position, or will he drop it? He has got Sutty Apex breathing down his neck, not as badly as D-Bigs is attacking Mazda right now, as D-Bigs goes to the outside of Ascari and is looking to try and go around side of Mazda, but can't do so. Mazda holds that position through Ascari.
Yeah, he's very, very close, and they've dropped quite a bit of time to Sutty and Kelly now.
They have indeed, as these two are literally just running in sync. And Kelly's lap times have been quite good, actually. He's been in the 49s and in the 50s, so he's been quite consistent. He's lapping with what similar pace everyone else is running at the minute, but KLF right now is in that important P3. And Sutty Apex is doing everything that his teammate needs to do. Look at the background now. Biggs is making a run for Mazda, but he can't quite get the run because of the slow straight line speed of that Audi. And look at Mazda's Mercedes just pull away.
Yeah, it just pulls so far away. Mazda is 8 seconds off the back, so it's looking very good at the minute for the Audio Sport Pro Labs duo of Sutty Apex and KLF 900.
It is indeed, but who is it looking even better for? It is currently Matt Imovic who is leading this race, and currently going into the next qualifying session. It won't be, these guys will not be able to qualify. It will be Matt, Mprava, KLF, Sutty, Mazda, D-Bigs and Argent. So all those guys currently will not be able to qualify, and at the minute, KLF is just praying and hoping that Sutty will not overtake him and look after him to the end of this race. But Matt, so far, Jamie, he's had an up and down season. He was a little bit defeated mid-season because Overtaker had quite a big advantage in the points. but he's come out of it with Overtaker not able to race 3 races. It's really then started to fold his way.
Yeah, it has. It's really gone his way. He's been helped a little with Overtaker missing 3 rounds now. He's missed It was Hockenheim, Daytona, and Monza. So he's been helped a little. I think D-Biggs has spun off at Ascari. So all that hard work is for now. And his teammate is about 6 seconds off the back. You'll see his teammate appear in the background there. You'll see his teammate appear backwards.
He will indeed, as Fury will now come alongside Arjun there. Will Arjun possibly return back to the Mercedes if he goes down into the Pro-Am division? As Emplava's made a mistake as well. He's lost a lot of time to Matt, a 57.2. If he keeps doing that, these two will be on their way to catch him. If we go on board with Kelly a minute so we can see what the gap is to Emplava, it's 18.8. So Emplava needs another big moment, and these two won't be too far behind.
Yeah, Sutton needs to just gain that little bit extra over Mazda to secure that 4th place. To the minute he'll drop behind Mazda, and Mazda, considering that he didn't qualify, and he's been really silent in this race. He might end up with a P4 out of this.
Possibly so, but at the minute, oh no, Kelly's dropped it. He has dropped it. Can he get it going before Mazda comes? That is the question. He spins it round and away he goes. But KLF was looking so good for a podium as Mazda is now hunting him down. How much damage has Kelly got on the front of his car? And can he get it back together? That is the question. Sati Apex, though, has pulled away and is now holding on to that P3 position. Mazda, though, will want to try and hunt that Lamborghini down.
He will indeed, but if the gap stays, if it stays as it is, Kelly will still get that podium, but Mazda is all over the back. Mazda's now could be on for a podium out of this after being away for so much of the season.
The question is now, Mazda's gone wide. The question is though, is it going to go the opposite way around now? As now KLF's now dropped out of that podium position at the minute. Will now he just try and hold Mazda up so Sutty gets that podium?
He might well do, or is Sutty won't drop back to defend. I don't think Sutty will drop back to defend from Mazda. I think Sutty's now just going to try and go, but probably try and keep the gap within 10 seconds of Kelly, so Kelly can still get.
Kelly's trying to come out the slipstream there so he doesn't get caught as there are a load of people in the chat. Oh! Mazda comes together with KLF there, and Mazda goes off track there, so he goes wide. He has to take the escape route. And he will have to give the time back, but KLF pushing Mazda wide there, and Mazda now will have to try and regain that position back as both the pick and mix boys are saying gutting for KLF. He's still in this, he can still get a podium.
Yeah, so 8 seconds ahead as we're on the penultimate lap. Where is Matt? Matt is coming to the final corner to go on to the final lap.
Matt is going to be starting his final lap, and he is possibly going to start his final time of being a Pro-Am champion. He'll have to get rid of the Am because he's possibly on his way now to becoming a Pro champion, as the votes are still going the way of a yes to Kelly to get on 3rd place on the podium, as Sutty Apex still currently in that P3, and it is 8 seconds between them, sorry, 9 seconds. So Kelly, can he just keep it clean? He's just driving a little bit erratic towards the end here. Can he just hang in there? As I will end the poll there, as 80% of you reckon that Kelly will get the podium. Can he do so? Because Sutty Apex, is he going to lift enough so that his teammate gets the podium, as Mazda's still not quite close enough?
He's not quite close enough, and Sutty's got to get to 9.3 now. He's going to go over 10 seconds. Is Sutty going to back off at Mazda? He's going to have to run down into the final corner, into the first corner. Sorry.
Kelly had a very poor run out of Parabolica. He has to stay to the inside. Mazda's going outside, and there goes the Mercedes grunt. But KLF will try and send it into turn 1. As they go to turn 1, Mazda's going to try and squeeze him, try and stop him from sending it, but he does. He gets the job done, and Kelly gets in front. Is he going to try and be outsmarted by Mazda here? No, Kelly just hangs in there. But as these two are fighting, Sutty Apex is pulling further away. 11.7, the podium is just outside. Sutty Apex is looking like he's going to be on that podium.
He is indeed. Or will Sutty back off at the end? Mazda's having another look. He's going to send it into the second chicane. Doesn't work, and Kenny keeps that position.
Where is Matt on tracks? I think he's coming to Parabolica. There he is. Matahimovic has done everything right towards the end of this season. He exits the final corner, and for the final time, he won't be a Pro-Am champion. He's going to be Season 6 Pro Champion. Matahimovic wins round 23 and becomes your new Pro Champion. P2 is going to go the way of Emprava, his old nemesis in Pro-Am. He's going to come home for a fantastic P2. The question is, where is Sutty Apex? Mazda's dropped it.
Mazda has dropped it.
Sutty's lifting.
Sutty's backed off to let Kelly have the podium.
Sutty Apex, he's going to lift. He's going to give KLF his first podium here in the Pro-Am. So Sutty Apex exits the final corner. He's given Kelly easily enough berth, but KLF is going to come home to take his first podium here in the Pro, if he's managed to hang on there, because Biggs is coming though. Biggs isn't quite close enough, but KLF will come home to get his first podium here in the Pro. Congratulations to KLF. He will get that podium. Sutty will possibly drop behind D-Biggs. No! He's figured that out. Bang on. He gets P4. Biggs will get P5. P6 will go the way of Mazda. P7 for Argent. He exits Parabolica. And look at these two.
We've gone board this. Gary has relegated Fury even further. Fury has a slide. He's definitely not going to get that position back now. And Fury back down to 9th place.
Back down to 9th as Gary 131 comes towards the line. He will take 8th. Fury will take 9th. Smoky Devil will take 10th place position. But here is your Pro Champion. Matt Ahimovic wins the Pro Championship here at Simplay Motorsport. That is the running order. Emprava takes fastest lap of the race there. A 46.9 from him. We'll be back in a moment's time as we will have a race 2 underway. And obviously championship wrapped up. But what exciting fun we've had here already. What can the rest of the guys do? Top 7 cannot qualify. So Matinovic, Emprava, KLF 900, Sutty Apex, D-Biggs, Mazda and Argent all can't qualify for the next race. Grab a drink. We'll be back in a few minutes' time.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. down the days, counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and what a race one we have just had there, and I can now confirm as I'm looking at the standings, Mata Himovic is your pro champion here at Simplay Motorsport for Season 6. Overtaker currently still in P2 at this minute, but Fury cannot beat Matt for the title now. Fury can beat Overtaker, he just needs to outscore him by 6 points, but we do have the top 3 in with us at this stage, but I will do another running of the Constructors and Drivers Championship. Gary looks like he is able to just hang in there for P4. D-Biggs really needs a good race to try and stop him, but unlikely to do so in this one. Slutty Apex is just 8 points behind D-Biggs. Is Kelly going to return the favour in this race and help him outscore D-Biggs? Also, Peaceful Explosion is only 3 points behind on his 150th appearance. Can he now get himself up into P5? Emperor also just outside that. A race win could possibly put him up into P5. So 4 or 5 drivers batting it out just for those places alone. P9 is Smoky Devil, and he's only a couple of points ahead of KLF 900, who is only, I believe, if my maths is correct, which is usually pretty wrong, He's about 8 points behind, so we could possibly catch him. Mazda, P11, P12, Andy, P13 is Emo Guy, P14 is Argent. He's only a couple behind Emo Guy. Monkey Boy, P15, Max Mulder, 16, Neek, 17, 18, Disco. Teams is Jaeger Motorsport leading the way. Teletubby Motorsport now go up into P2 as Silence of the Lambos keeps going back down. And Audio Sport Pro Labs hanging in there for P4. 2 points separating them and Smoking Hot Racing. Pushing Limits Racing currently in P6. And looks like they got that place secured as Simplay Racing, also P7, Slingshot in P8, and Sneaker Academy P9. We've got the top 3 in with us, and we will start with KLF. And Dad, we've had multiple conversations about Pro and the chances of you getting a podium, and you said unlikely, never going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But we're here at Monza, final round of the season, and you've got it.
Yeah, what is it I always say? Sun shines on the dog's arse some days, and today's been a lovely sunny day.
Obviously, you got to credit your teammate Sati Apex, obviously with him carrying that 10-second penalty, him lifting off at the end. But nonetheless, you had a very solid drive. It was a very good drive. The Lamborghini seemed very good, very competitive, and you were in P4, P5 respectively on your own pace.
Absolutely, yeah, and early doors I was fighting with Max with D-Biggs, Fury was in there as well, and I'm thinking I can actually keep these guys, you know. I'll have to go and check my car, make sure there's not something wrong with it, because all of a sudden it seemed to go a lot quicker than it has all season. Yeah, nice to finally hook it up. It's taken 2 seasons to get on a podium, but fantastic feeling to be here.
Obviously, it didn't work out in the McLaren. The Lamborghini, you were having a love-hate relationship this season, but is the Lamborghini going on the fire pit?
Oh God, yeah! I bought some petrol today and a new box of Swan Vestas just to get ready to set fire to it. Just as we're finished, I line it up next to the other ones that are all burnt out from all the other seasons.
I thought that maybe one of them is going to be resurrected, possibly though, for Pro-Am.
Yeah, one's just had a nice coat of yellow paint and is looking good for next season.
You got the car from Monkey Boy yet?
No, mate.
Nonetheless, though, Kelly, you're going to be starting actually near the front of the back end of the pack. You're going to be midsection. What can you do there for race 2? And what is the goal for race 2? Is it just to go out and enjoy your last time in the Pro?
To be fair, Dan, I'm still wallowing in the champagne just at the moment. I haven't thought about race 2. What comes our way comes our way. Last race of the season, just go out there and just enjoy it, really. I've had far too many frustrated rounds this year, so I'm just going to try and enjoy this podium and enjoy the next race.
Is Monza your favourite track now?
No, hate it. I'm not a fan. I mean, it's a fantastic. I'd love to go there, especially for the Grand Prix with the Devosi and all the rest of it, and love it to watch. But I'm not a great fan of it. But I'm liking it more now.
Nonetheless, mate, congratulations on P3. We'll let you go back to your party.
Congratulations to the other guys, and well done to Matt for securing the championship.
As we then move on to your P2 man, and once again, the bridesmaid to Matt again. You cannot get end of looking at the back end of Matt's car, can you, Emplava?
Funny enough, I couldn't even see the rear of his car. I was so far back. But yeah, unfortunately, I was behind him again. Nothing. I will try and be in front of him in race 2.
Bit of a boring race for yourself. Not a lot really going on as such, but you have to be happy with P2 though.
Yeah, I'm happy with the result, but not happy with my own performance. I think I can do a lot better in terms of consistency. So I hope that I can improve on that in race 2.
Well, the 2 Pro-Am boys, 1 and 2 from last season, are going to be starting 1 and 2 at the back. What can you do in P12?
Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but I hope that I can beat everyone to the top step of the podium to finish the season off.
Well, congratulations on P2, mate, and we'll let you get back to your party.
Yeah, cheers.
And we now move on to your race winner, but also your Pro champion for Season 6, Matahimovic. Congratulations on the win and on the title. How does that feel?
Unreal. What a year. Just a shame Overtake wasn't here to end it off in that way.
But nonetheless, a relatively straightforward race for yourself. I think we'll talk more after race 2 about the season in general. But for that race, it looked pretty set up and easy for you. No issues, no real problems as such. It looked like when you actually came out the pits behind the Prolapse boys, you weren't really eager to catch them.
No, get off the line and pull away from Emplava. I managed to secure a bit of a gap. He pitted early. I jumped him in the pits. And yeah, the gap kind of increased to 6 seconds after the pit stop. So it was just a case of I was behind Gary, Kelly, and Sutty and Max was a lap down, but no real pressure to catch them because of the fact that I didn't want to ruin a chance and let N back in. Just renewing the old rivalry from last season. Just head down and drove. There was, no real scary moments, no real moments really to talk about. The last couple of laps just started to come off the pace a bit just to make sure I got it home because I saw N had dropped to 14 seconds behind. So, yeah, pretty dull. Not really much to talk about.
Well, obviously, the game always loves you here at Simplay Motorsport. Always loves you. You're going to be starting last for the final race of this season. What can you do for the final time here at Monza?
I'd like to end it with a win because I've just looked at the race wins for this year and Fury's got 6, Overtaker's got 6, I've got 5 now. So I'd kind of like to have that 6-6-6 going off there between us 3 for the season. I want to say a massive shout out to Kelly. I said to Kelly before the race, we used to do a thing for those who didn't know off air. Kelly and me every race, whether he was racing or I was racing, we'd always say, see you on the podium. And I've not said it to Kelly all season, and I've been in a party with him all season. And tonight I said it to him, and he's so happy to see him on the podium. Great to see N on the podium as well, bringing back the Pro-Am days. And yeah, just hopefully bring that win to make it 6 wins apiece for the title. But, I think the aim is going to be to get my teammate to get his first win of the season. And see what he can do. He's looking good out there at qualifying at the minute, but Fury's with him, so to be tough.
But nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win and also the title. We'll let you get in onto your party for your final race of this season. And Jamie, 3 relatively happy drivers. Emplava obviously not too cheerful. He reckons he needs to just work on his pace a little bit. But nonetheless, we are very, very happy to have Kaylee back on the podium, at least in the Pro, for at least one time this season.
Yeah, so it's good. Good to have a different person on the podium. Just shows how competitive the Pro is. That we've had someone that is going down to Pro-Am, and they've gone and got a podium.
Yeah, he's gone and done that as well. And obviously, nice to have them, Matt, and obviously Emplava as well. Both rivals in the Pro-Am, both sharing the podium there as well in the last few stages of this season.
Yeah, so we were quite accustomed to it last season in Pro-Am, and it's good. So it's good to see that they've been able to translate it into the Pros. They definitely will win the title, and hopefully Emplava can kick on in his second season in the Pro and be right up and challenge for the title. Fury doesn't improve on his lap time. Gary is quickest though by 0.4 of a second at the minute.
As he is, Gary, can he finally get this season to an end where he actually gets a race win? At the minute, he has managed to go on every season with at least 1 win in the season, and right now he's got 1 last shot. He had 1 opportunity at Oschersleben, and Fury took that away from him. Is Fury going to do that again here tonight? Monkey Boy, I think it's the last man to set a lap time here, but Gary 131 currently on pole position. And for the final time, Jamie, qualifying has come to an end, and it's been a fantastic season. Just we go into the final race, and Matt, a very worthy winner of the championship.
Yeah, he's a very worthy winner of the championship. He's been so consistent all season. I think apart from the one race apart from the one round at Kota where he had a bit of a mare, but other than that, he's been really consistent all season. He's turned up to every round. So Overtake hasn't been able to turn up to every round. Nothing against him. So he's been on holiday and other things, but Matt's just been there to make every night to make the points count. And a lot of people won't see that Matt tests pretty much every night, at least now. So it shows that if you put the work in, then You can definitely get the title. Fury goes on to pole by a 10th. What can Gary do? Gary's got two cars. He's got a nice slipstream from the Audi of Max and Diesel. Can he find the 10th of a second? He needs to take that pole position back. I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did either, but we'll see here as Fury will take pole position for the final time here at Simplay Motorsport. Can he take the second place away from overtaking? He literally just has to finish this race, but it's Fury on pole with Gary in second. Third will be Max Mulder. Fourth will be Peaceful Explosion. Fifth is Smoky Devil. Sixth is Monkey Boy, and then your non-qualifiers will be KLF 900, Argent, Mazda, Sati Apex, D-Biggs, Emplava, and Matt Ahimovic. JB, again, last time for this season, a final race win prediction. Who do you think is going to get the win?
I'm going to say Fury for this one.
I'm going to support my my fellow pro champion of Gary 131, and I'm going to say he's going to take this one as well. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to take the win. Currently, there's a poll going out on who you think is going to take the win. And also, a massive thank you to everybody who has been following us this season. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a single bit of action here at Simplay Motorsport, as we will be live on Sunday night for the next round of the F2 Championship. Things got a little bit hot and spicy at China. Is it going to carry on as we go to Saudi Arabia, as we then head to Jeddah for the next round of the championship? And also, make sure you tune in for the next round of the first time ever we're running here at Simplay Motorsport for the ACC League, as their GT3s will carry on just on a different game with a different platform, possibly new drivers, old drivers returning. And then make sure when we come back for the next season, we will be heading to season 7. Matt will be trying to defend his title here in the pro, but he sounds like he has got a lot of rivals coming back and new faces as well. Jamie, this is going to be an awesome final end to the season, and also what a season we've had. It's been fantastic from Pro-Am to Pro. It's been remarkable.
It has indeed. The GT3 season's been absolutely brilliant, and we're now going to get the final race of the GT3 season where the gloves can well and truly come off. There's nothing left to fight for. Just what a good old-fashioned race.
As we do, we want a good old-fashioned race indeed between Fury and Gary on the front row, but can Emplava and Matt work their way through the pack? And can we get a KLF on the podium once again? That's the question, but here we go. Lights are on, Fury's on pole, and we are green here, and he gets a decent start, but covers Gary straight away, and Gary goes to the outside. Max gets a decent start, as he actually said in the chat, if I win, I will get 2 beers, he says. But Max Moldo, a lot of work to do. His Peaceful Explosion comes flying into turn 1. He nearly makes contact with Gary there. I think it was a bit of door rubbing, but they all managed to get through the first corner relatively clean. No spinners, so that's good to see. Monkey Boy's had a decent start as well, but KLF is the man on the move. He's already got Monkey Boy, but it is Fury leading into the second chicane. Matt is already on his way through. His Emplava goes very wide and on the gravel. He's done a Pierre Gasly there.
Yeah, he's still there. Mazda didn't have a good start, but Mazda has already got ahead of Emplava.
What's happened to Gary?
Gary's spun.
Gary has gone round.
He's down in last. So if he wants that win, he's really got to fight for it now. Max is up to second, and Smokey is the cork in the bottle here, because you can see everyone ganged up behind him. Pete's on his 150th race. Hopefully he can go better than race 1. Is looking all over the back of that Mercedes. Smokey has struggled all night with that car. Here comes Peaceful down the inside towards Ascari, and he's up into 3rd place, but there's also a KLF there, but Kelly gets on the gravel, and that could present an opportunity to Monkey Boy.
Yeah, so Peaceful looking to try and find a way past on the Mercedes of Smokey.
That's Emplava. Emplava's in the wall on the exit of Ascari.
So much for that consistency from Emplava for the next race, as Gary's already done a Mazda, and he's now on the back of Sati Apex. Matt is currently in P8. He wants to finish the season on a high with a win. Sati goes wide through Parabolica, and he's gone round. There's a car round. That's Monkey Boy. Has Matt made contact with Monkey Boy?
I think he has, because Matt is very, very slow. So, Fury with a 1.6 second gap to Max Mulder. in second place. Feast in third. Smoky Devil fourth. KLF in fifth. D-Big sixth. Argent. There's Gary now seventh. Argent eighth. Mazda ninth. Matt 10th. Sutty 11th. Emplava 12th. And Monkey Boy 13th. A long way off the back. But Matt, I think Matt is now side by side with his very close friend Mazda. I think Matt was trying on Arjun, but it didn't work.
I think by the end of this race, I think Monkey Boy is looking forward to getting back into his Acura, because right now that Ferrari's doing him no good, as Matimovic goes down the inside of Mazda and pushes him wide, so he's not in. But there's Argent, and they all get caught out by that. KLF might possibly get on the podium again with everybody too busy tripping over one another.
Yeah, at the minute he's on the back of Smoky Devil.
Gary's made a great recovery already. He's P7.
Yeah, Gary has got the targeting Fury now. He's going to be on the back of D-Biggs momentarily as they head up towards Ascari. D-Biggs is actually having a look on KLF, but that doesn't work. Peace has made good his escape from Smoky Devil, so Smoky is definitely the cork in the bottle. As he goes wide, and that is going to present a chance to KLF. He's also got D-Biggs there, and there's Gary in the background. Matt is up into 8th because I think Mazda has had a problem.
Possibly so, as Fury is disappearing, and Biggs and KLF has come together in Parabolica. KLF goes round as he's trying to avoid the incidences there. KLF will drop down the order. Peaceful Explosion now, P3.
Yeah, Gary up into P5 now. Matt P6.
Peaceful's catching Max really quickly here.
Yeah, he is indeed. Max seems to be struggling at the minute because he's about a second off. He's a second off Fury's place. But look at Peaceful last lap at 47.9.
Peaceful Explosion really has turned the heat up here. He's really going for it in the final race here. Possibly, he said his setup felt really weird in the first race. Maybe it's more suited for race 2, as Matt is currently side by side with KLF, Sutty, Mazda, and Matt are all side by side. Biggs is there as well, as Sutty Apex braves out on the outside and gets the job done. Matt has a wiggle and goes off track there. So as strong as the car looked in race 1, and this is what I was saying, Jamie, in race 1 of Pro-Am. The Mercedes, when it's out on its own, seemed very dominant, seemed very good. As soon as it was in other cars, it seems like it struggles.
Yeah,
there goes Argent, is that? Or...
Yeah, that's D-Biggs.
That's D-Biggs.
Yeah, D-Biggs and Gary could be up into 4th place. I think Peaceful and Max is around. He's up into 4th place now, and Max launched himself over the curb. We don't want to do a Sebastian Vettel, but he waits on the inside. Mazda's actually got past Matt as well now. Max continues on. Gary's now up onto the podium. If he sticks this out around Smoky Devil, he does indeed. But is he going to run a little bit wide? No, he doesn't, and he gets D3. Can now hunt after this Explosion. Fury at the minute having it all his own way.
As Vince in the chat asking, are Project Cars GT3 cars slower than ACC? I don't actually know, Jamie. Are they? I thought Project Cars were quicker, as Matt is the first man into the pits.
They are quicker, but I think ACC, with it being a bit more realistic, is just a bit
more of an animal.
Yeah, it's a little slower.
Yeah, so obviously with the obviously very good sim racer for what it was at the time, but Project Cars appears to be a little bit quicker than ACC, but obviously with the challenges that come with ACC, it's going to be interesting for sure, as I might actually, for the first round of the season, I will be your commentator for the ACC's Racing League, but I will be giving a little bit of information of each race and probably do a comparison from Project Cars to ACC as well, as the first round of the season will be Silverstone, and we've raced Silverstone as well here at Simplay Motorsport, so we'll do a comparison between the two. But it is Fury extending his lead at the minute, and Gary 131 now up into P3. Can he hunt down Peaceful Explosion? Can Peaceful finish the season on a high with another podium and do it in front of Defoe? Is what they would want, especially in the Ferrari.
Yeah, they would indeed. But Gary slowly catching onto the back. He's slowly dropping Smokey, and Sutty is about 4 seconds off the back of Smoky Devil. So Smoky Devil, after race 1, he's he's doing very well. But after as well, Max and Emplava have all pitted, and Matt might be able to set the times alight now as he's on his own.
Possibly so. Martinovic is trying to bring the gap down. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of fights going on at the minute. D-Big's trying to find a way past Monkey Boy at the minute. But he's then got Argent and KLF just ahead of him as well. Mazda, once again, keeping his nose clean and out of trouble. As Mazda gets himself a penalty, just as I say that.
Yeah, he does indeed. So Mazda's race is not going well. There's another car in. It is Kelly and D-Big. They don't get a time penalty. How quick is Mazda to stop? It is very quick. What about KLF? Held there for a little bit. I reckon he's fixing a little bit of damage, but he is away. What about D-Biggs? D-Biggs is going to definitely be fixing some damage. Now, where is Matt? Matt is on his way down.
Kelly's already... Mazda's already out. And I think Kelly is not going to jump Matt here. Kelly just gets off the limiter, but Matt is long gone. Is Kelly going to stay ahead of Max and Prava? Vince, also, is it possible to sign up for any of the leagues? Yes, if you head to our Discord or Facebook page, I believe all the links are in the description or on the page. You head to them, you can sign up to any of them or speak to either myself, Dan Davis, or Unorthodox, Matt Tivovic, Matthew Duffin, or even Big Boy Brasier or Jamie Brasier. Any one of us will give you some information as well. We currently run an F2 championship on the F1 2021 game. Obviously, due to the new game coming out, not a lot of people have it at the minute, but we will be doing a league on there. And also ACC coming on a Thursday night. These guys are having a break, a 6-week break from Project Cars, but they will be back. You can sign up to either Pro or Pro-Am as Max Mulder gets himself ahead of Kelly.
He does indeed, and Emplava is now right on the back as well. Gary's not made the sort of inroads I'd have expected of him on Pearson. He's not. That's why he's pitted. I was about to say, Smokey's caught right onto the back. Where is Matt? I think is a long way off the back. He's at Ascari, and he's closed right onto the back of Mazda. Gary is away now, so Matt is definitely not going to get past. Argent and Monkey Boy are gonna go through, but I think Argent's pitting as is Monkey Boy, so that'll be who Matt looks to get past. And Matt is going to have the slip. Might not have the slipstream. He's about 1.2 off Mazda at the minute, but Emplava has got through on Kelly, so Kelly not having as good second race.
No, not the best second race for him, but nonetheless, he is giving it a good go. I'm just trying to get the link to the Discord so that you're able to... for some reason, it's not working, as usual. So, try and get that in.
I should do it.
Okay, Jamie will do that. As we see here, Max Mulder sends it on the inside of Emprava. Dutch versus Latvian, and the Dutch comes out on top. Big Boy Brasier will be dropping that link down for you in a minute. But there it goes. Max Mulder up into that P8 position and try and catch Matt if he possibly can. Mazda with that 10-second time penalty, he is going to have his hands full with Matt breathing down his neck. Gary's clear and done his pit stop. Can he now bring the gap down to Fury as Max has to straight line the second chicane? And through he goes, and will lose the position to Emprava just in the background. KLF can't get off the gravel trap there, and he gets back on track as Fury pits on lap 6 here at Monza. And make sure you also tune in as Matt Ivovic, aka Matthew Duffin, your Pro-Am commentator and your F2 commentator, will be bringing you a live stream, possibly with myself and maybe one of the other admin team, as we will be doing the random draw for the choice of circuits for the next season here at Simplay Motorsport on Project Cars 2, as we have all sorts of hideous tracks lined up for possibly coming next season. As Fury's back out the pits, he's got a decent gap over Gary, as Gary's axed him parabolica. Fury is well out of the pits at the minute, and right now it's all looking good for Fury. Peaceful now leads this race.
He does indeed, and Matt has got past Mazda, and he's now 8 seconds off his teammate. So it's a good recovery from Matt so far. Is Mazda going to have a look into turn 1? Not a chance. What about Max and Emplava? Emplava's quite a way up the road. Peaceful now in the Ferrari leads here at Monza. He's got 5 seconds behind, and Smokey's up into third place.
He is indeed, and right now, Smokey's just minding his own business, still yet to pit at this stage, and he's going well at the minute. Sutty Apex is not too far in front of him, so Sutty is just going to try and drive his drive, not try and get a penalty again in the pits. That will help him massively, but right now, it's all a little bit stale at the minute on track. Not a lot going on, as all the positions have turned to be relatively flat, as D Biggs is also trying to catch on to the back of KLF. This is your closest fight at the minute, though. It is Max Mulder trying to get back on the rear of Emprava.
Yeah, the pair of them just touched the grass on the way out of the second Lesmo. And Max is just losing little bits here and there to that Mercedes, but that's not unusual, especially with the Audi. He launched himself over the curb.
As Max Mulder still not quite close enough, and obviously that Mercedes Grant will have the advantage over the Audi at this stage. And right now, Max would be wishing that he was possibly in that Mercedes, but nonetheless, possibly next season. Obviously, 6 weeks until we get back racing again here at Simplay Motorsport for the GT3 Pro and Pro-Am Championship, and it'll be going into the late summer, start of autumn, and the conditions will start to cool off, so maybe the Audi will come in its prime with the soft tyres possibly on the car as well. So we will keep an eye on how the Audi gets on next season. And next season, obviously, Jamie, still a way to go. 6 weeks of testing, drivers, talking to other drivers, lineup, new teams. This is going to be an interesting off-season, especially with the amount of drivers being moved and shuffled about.
Yeah, it is indeed. It would be interesting to see who ends up with who. Normally at the just before Max launches himself over the curb. Normally, me and Matt Hemvich do a little predictions to see who'll end up with who, and at the start of the season we go back and have a look, see how correct we were. Normally we're quite a way off.
Normally indeed, as we're coming towards the midpoint of this race. The Sutty Apex has now come into the pits.
Yeah, Fury is going to continue on. He's only got a 5-second gap to Gary, so at the minute Fury's looking good, but any mistake and Gary is going to be right on the back.
He will indeed, and I'm still struggling here to find a link to the Discord. But either way, it's all coming down to the wire for these guys, and the end of the season as well. Fury looking very good to possibly take another race win and try and get that little bit closer to myself with most race wins here at Simplay Motorsport. Currently, I'm still leading the way with the most wins, obviously with F2 and everything, as Jamie now sends me the link, so that's perfect, thank you. So now I can send that to the chat.
Yeah, Max having a little look on D-Biggs, and Max just losing a little bit there, but he gets D-Biggs on the exit, and KLF's there as well. So has Max made a mistake, because he wasn't too far off the back of Emprava.
As there you go, Vince, in the chat. There you go. There is the link to the Discord page, so you should be able to join through there. As we got here, there's that Biggs looking down the inside. KLF Max is right there. He's also wanting to find a way through as well. He gets underneath Biggs there as he makes slight contact with the rear of the Lamborghini. So Max down the inside. Two Audis going side by side through Lesmo 1. KLF is very slow through Lesmo. That's going to hold these two off. Kelly defends for Max, but Biggs is going to try and go around the outside, and Kelly's really holding these two up as Smoky Devil's in the pit, so Biggs comes off worse.
Yeah, Biggs comes off worse. Max got right in the boot of KLF there, but Kelly's come out of that the best.
We're still.
And he holds on to 9th place, but Max looking very, very racy.
But right now, Peaceful Explosion still leads this race at the minute. He's been quite consistent, but look at these three going at it. Lamborghini versus Audi, and Kelly's really starting to try and break the toe. A lot of weaving there, and he's only going to have to make one move. And he's going to go around the outside as Lil Leach has dropped his link as well, I think. So, I don't know if my link's correct.
Yeah, I have seen him join the Discord server. And Max has now got back ahead of Kelly, and Smokey is actually on the back of Mazda as well. But here comes Max versus Kelly, down in towards turn 1. Last of the late breakers, little wiggle there from Kelly, but Max gets the car stopped. Kelly goes very wide, and this could present a chance to D Biggs, and Max is gone.
Max has gone, and Kelly now and Biggs are going to have to continue their fight. As Vince in the chat saying, join, and I'll have a look at some of the leagues after this race. Do not want to miss any of the action. You do not want to miss the action, as these three are still going at it. Biggs down towards the inside of the second chicane here at Monza, but he can't seem to find a way past it. Biggs sends it on Kelly. He's going to go around the outside, but Kelly's like, nope, you're not going that way, my friend, and we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Peaceful finally pits on lap 10.
He does indeed. Now, where is Fury is coming through the final corner? Where's Gary? Sutty? Has Sutty pitted yet?
Sutty has pitted. Sutty has come into the pit, so he is ahead of Matt at the minute. So Sutty Apex might possibly be on his way to try and get on the podium. Peaceful is now coming off the limiter here. So Peaceful Explosion, can he hang in there? He comes back out on track. He's in P2. He's behind Fury. He's jumped Gary. So very good stint there from Peaceful Explosion. Can he hang in there for the final few places on the podium? That's the question. As Gary 131 comes to turn 1, Peaceful Explosion is very slow after coming out the pits, and there is Gary. He's going to have a run through the Curva Grande, as Peaceful is going to try and defend for as long as he possibly can, but that Mercedes grunt will just out-drag the Ferrari, and there goes Gary. But can Peaceful fight back?
Yeah, is he going to have a look back into the second chicane? He's stuck a nose up the inside. And Gary's outrated himself, but I think Peaceful did as well. So the status quo once again. Sutty and Matt getting closer. I think Matt has launched himself over the sausage scope, so they've lost a lot of time to Sutty there. And Mazda gets that little bit closer, but Mazda I think is under a little bit of pressure from Smokey, and then Plava's only a couple of seconds behind.
As they now come towards Ascari chicane, and Gary is up into P2. Gary once again is having his race taken away by Fury here, but if Fury makes a mistake, Gary is going to be there to try and take a win. Is this finally going to be a season where Gary 131 will not take a race win? That is the question as they come towards the end of this race. 83% of you reckon that Fury will win this race as they finally come to an end. And also I'm going to do another poll right now for driver of the day
as well. If Fury wins this race, he'll have the most wins outright in this season.
He will indeed.
He'll have 7.
He will indeed. 7 wins to his name, but sadly no title for him. He will outscore Overtaker tonight.
Yeah, unless Fury disconnects. Second place in the championship looks good for him. Now, Gary, was he any quicker last lap? No, he was over a second slower. I know, he was only a few tenths, so it's Peaceful on his out. Matt was the slowest lap time, a 1 minute 50, but we saw him launch himself over the chicane.
Yeah, so I don't think Matt's going to go on to take a win here, but nonetheless, he is going to take the win of the championship overall, as Pierre in the chat says that Kelly should be driver of the day. Obviously, I'm doing this relatively early because we have to do driver of the day and then driver of the season. Matt at the minute currently in that P5. He's got that gap to Mazda by quite a bit. KLF now on the back of Max once again. He's got B Biggs chasing him down once again. There's loads of fights going on at the minute. There's quite a few places. The Sati Apex now is trying to hunt down Peaceful Explosion. And obviously Gary 131 is still, he's bringing that gap down to Fury ever so slightly, matching him from time to time.
I think he's made a mistake though. Has he made a mistake? He has. And Peaceful's now side by side with him. Mercedes now in the background.
And through goes Peaceful once again up into P2. Can Sutty Apex now get involved? He's been slowly chipping away at these two. Actually, that last lap, Peaceful at Sutty was massively quicker than the pair of these two. So Sutty Apex, this is going to be a great fight. Season 1 veterans here, Gary, Peaceful and Sutty. These three know each other very, very well, and they're going to be battling out for the end of this race. The poll will end on lap 15 because we will do driver of the season. So get your votes in for driver of the day as Gary is now trying to catch Peaceful. Peaceful's gone deep in turn 1. Sutty has the best run, but he has a poor exit, so he's unable to get the move on Gary. Gary has obviously the power of the Mercedes. Slow Ferrari in front. Can the Defosi get the Ferrari on the podium here? As you can see, Gary's just reeling that Ferrari in.
Yeah, is he gonna have to break into the second chicane? Tries the outside piece, shows him the door, but he's going to look for the drive off the corner, and he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it as he go into a Lesmo one, and Gary will have the inside for that one. Where is Sutty Apex though? He'll want to sniff his nose in for an opportunity if he possibly can. He is right on the back of the Ferrari. So many mistake from Peaceful, and the Lamborghini is through. Either way, we might have an Italian car on the podium, but which one?
Yeah, which one indeed? I bet Matt will be kicking himself because if he didn't make that mistake, he would be right on the back of this fight, making it a 4-way fight. But Sutty is looking for a podium. It would be an both Audio Sport Pro Laps cars would have a podium in the same night.
They will indeed. Peaceful still trying to hang in there for as best as he possibly can. There's all sorts of fights going on as Max Mulder has still got pressure further beyond us. Kelly's made a mistake. He's dropped to 12th, so he's dropped out of that fight just ahead of them as well. We got Max and D-Biggs.
Peaceful's run really wide and just presented Sutty with a perfect opportunity in Sutty. You don't need to ask Sutty twice whether he wants to stick his nose up the inside.
No, you do not. That's just allowed Fury to just disappear into the distance. He's made a gap of half. He's been lapping at half a tenth quicker. As Peaceful's going to send it. He's going to do a Sutty send it, and he makes contact with Gary. Peaceful goes round. Gary keeps it together, and Sutty Apex will gain out of that one. Little contact there as they carry on through. Are there only PS4 leagues or anything else? Sadly, we are only on the PS4 or PS5, obviously both compatible with all the games that we are running bar ACC. So at the minute it's PS4 only, but we are looking to do possibly PC in the future. But Sutty Apex goes into the second chicane and still ahead at the minute.
Yeah, you can just see Matt in the background. Emplava is now battling with Smoky Devil over 7th place. I'm pretty sure after race 1, this is not where Emplava wanted to be.
Yeah, the two Smoking Hot Racings, these two both fighting now, and Smoky Devil loses out there to his teammate, and he just allows him through there, who were originally a junior team to Disco and Andy, the Slingshot Motorsport boys, and sadly, obviously, they both pulled out of the season, but either way, those two have done a very good job as the junior team, but Peaceful is now starting to get a bit of pressure from Matt.
Yeah, he is indeed, and Matt can sniff a fourth place here. I don't think he's going to get Sutty or Gary. Gary having another look at, but Peaceful should be easy pickings for Matt. And there's a flash from Matt to alert Peaceful that he is approaching.
So as they come down out of Parabolica, and Sutty Apex is going to start getting a bit more pressure from Gary 1-3-1. But right now, Fury is still well out in front and looking to take another win to make it most wins this season in the Pro out of any driver. Sutty has a poor exit there. That's giving Gary a possible sniff of an opportunity here.
Matt too eager on the throttle and just spun the rear up. But where is Gary? I tell you where he is. He's on the outside of Sutty. He's going to have a look down the inside. But Sutty, you're not beating Sutty on the brakes, but Sutty.
He's gone deep though.
Yeah, he's made a mess of that chicane, and Gary is going to have that one on the silver platter.
He is indeed, and through on the inside he goes. Sutty Apex, though, is not going to sit down easy on this one. He's going to fight back, and he goes into Lesmo 2. Gary has the high ground and stays in front. What a fight. These two obviously going door-to-door in Mexico in the F1 Championship. They're once again going door-to-door here at Monza here. And Sutty Apex and Gary 131 once again giving us the awesome action that we love to see here at Simplay Motorsport.
Yeah, they are. They are indeed in this final race, and Matt is still not quite close enough to Peaceful.
Not at the stage, no, but either way, Matt will want to try and bring that gap down as quickly as he possibly can and try and get past Peaceful, just in case anything happens between these two. Sutty looks like he's had the run through Parabolica, but he isn't going to have the straight line speed though, because Gary 131 in that Mercedes is just a lot faster in a straight line as they come down the back straight. Sutty has to pull back into the slipstream as we start the penultimate lap here. Fury 8.1 seconds ahead as he heads to turn 1. It gets shorter obviously because of the yo-yo effect, but he is way gone, and Sutty sends it into turn 1. Gary tries to squeeze him off. Sutty tries to squeeze him off as well, so fair game as Gary wheel spins out the corner, and Sutty losing traction but gains the position out of it.
Yeah, nearly had a Verstappen Hamilton in, isn't there? And Gary's going to come back at him.
Back at him in the second chicane. Is he going to do the same thing again? Sutty goes deep, he goes wide, and Gary will just get the slingshot once again through Lesmo 2. We go. Peaceful's lost out a lot of time to Matt in the background as well, so Matt is having a fight as well. So the Jaeger Motorsport boys are busy. Gary holds on again in Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. He still stays in front again. Is Matt now getting any closer to Peaceful? And Sutty's touched the grass there, and it's going to slow him down ever so slightly. Here's an interesting fact for you now, Jamie, as Matt goes around the outside of Peaceful here. Fury currently leading the way in the votes for driver of the day. Matt hasn't even got a single vote.
It's interesting. And the Ferrari loses out 4th place. Speaking of the Ferraris have just taken a 1-2 in qualifying for the Spa 24 Hours this weekend.
They have indeed, as I just make a note that Fury was driver of the day by the fans, but a few other votes as well. Smithy saying Sutty as well, but Sutty I think is going to lose out to Gary 131 here. He's not quite close enough to him, but either way, it was a great little fight while it lasted. Gary's got to be squeaky clean though to the end.
He has indeed. And M. Plava's right on the back of Mazda. He doesn't even need to overtake Mazda because of Mazda's penalty.
No, he does not. And sorry, Jamie, I'm just having to type a few things up a minute.
That's fine. M. Plava right in the slipstream of Mazda as they head on to the final lap. Whereabouts is Fury? Fury, I think, is headed down to the second chicane. M. Plava had a look, but didn't think about it and launched himself over the chicane. Where's Sutty and Gary?
A pole's just gone outside. He's gone around the outside again at the second chicane. Has he learned his lesson? A little bit. He covers Gary off. He does. He has learned his lesson. There's a vote out for driver of the season. Get your votes in for that. I think that's where everyone's saving their votes for Matt. But Sutty Apex gets himself up into P2. We'll have to just keep an eye out on Fury where he is. He is heading towards Ascari. But at the minute, Matt is ahead of Peaceful and well ahead as well. M. Prava's got past Mazda.
They're side by side, so going to Lesmo 2. Is Matt going to hang it around the outside? He is. M. Prava falls in wide. No, very clean between the pair of them. Sutty and Gary so close between the two of them. Are we going to have a Gary and AH moment once again? But it's this man, it's Fury, to take his 7th win this season and to round out the Pro Championship.
Most wins in Season 7. Massive congratulations to Fury, not just for the race win, but for P2 in the Championship. Congratulations, and Gary has done it once again in the final corner through Parabolica. Gary 131 will take P2, Sutty Apex will take P3, but your Pro Champion, Matt Hemovich, will cross the line P4, and now the celebrations begin as they will cross the line and start doing donuts. Sutty and Fury all doing their donuts right now. Mazda and Emprava batting it out once again towards the line. And Mazda will lose out to Emprava as Fury's doing donuts right in the middle of the track.
I think he's also going to lose out. He also loses out to Smokey.
Smokey then moves up to P7. Mazda will hang on to P8. D-Biggs will come home for 9th. 10th and 10th will be Argent. Then it will be Max Mulder. 12th will be Monkey Boy. And is Matt going to do a donut? He said he wasn't going to. Is he going to do it as Emperor is trying to do donuts around him? But I do love to see the donuts at the end. As long as they don't hit one another, it's always good to see. But Matt, is he going to light it up? I think he is. He's going to have to line it up in a minute. As Gary and the Jaeger Motorsport duo there, lying in front of one another. They are your constructors and your drivers champions. Smithy in the chat, always great racing from the Pro Boys, and a pleasure to watch. Well done, and Dubs and Jamie, great job. And Matt is going to lose the title because he said he wouldn't do donuts, and he is doing donuts. Joke, everybody. That is a joke.
It's because of his poor. That's because of his poor donuts.
Where's KLF? Where's KLF? He's coming to the line. There he is. He's doing donuts at the end. KLF finish off the season with a podium. And that is all she wrote, guys. It is Fury who takes the final win of the season, but it is Matt who is your pro champion. Jamie, let's get Fury, Gary, and Sutty, all three of those in, because we've had 6 different drivers on the podium.
Yeah.
That's nice to see as well. Nice way to end the season.
That's not often you see that.
I think Matt took fastest lap as well, so Matt takes that one into consideration as well, so he extends his points as well. And what an end to the season. What a fantastic season we have had, and a little bit sad for it to come to an end, but also very excited because I can't wait to get myself behind the wheel and back on circuit as well. Possibly me and Jamie will be able to race these lot as well, as we are starting to get them in. Let's get the final classifications here before the end of the season comes. Now, I just had to double check. Matt, have you updated the tables for me?
Drivers have just finished, just doing the constructors now.
Perfect. As we get the boys in, we do have Sutty and Gary, so we could possibly start with them while the final classifications do come up. And we'll start with Sutty Apex, and I'll tell you what, mate, you got to be given reward for teammate of the season, because right at the end of race 1, lifting and coasting, and you managed to just perfectly get it just right, so it was just unable for Mazda to get the advantage. But P3, and once again, a great scrap with Gary. We thoroughly enjoyed that, but congratulations on P3.
Cheers, man. Yeah, it was brilliant. Good battle with Gary again. I just didn't have the pace of the straight line. When he went through round there, I knew he was going to do me on the outside. I was running quite a high wing, so I knew.
You seem to keep making the same mistake through the second chicane. You seem to go very deep, and obviously you'd keep the lot position, but then you'd compromise your exit. Gary seems to get the better run, but obviously that one lap, you managed to just managed to get that traction, stay in front. But nonetheless, it was great to watch, and obviously you're going to have to be doing a little bit of teammate hunting possibly, as Kelly might be possibly going down to the Pro-Am. But sticking with the Lamborghini?
I don't know, mate. I just like to say I'm absolutely buzzing for Kelly with his podium. Absolutely buzzing, as he is. He didn't get gifted it. He didn't have gifted it. I nearly blew my engine.
Really? Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it was all on Kelly. Kelly won it on merit. He got the podium on merit.
Well, no, that's it. You've been an absolute star once again this season. Amazing. All we need to do now is just get rid of that pad and keep you on the wheel. And we might actually have a decent driver under your belt. But nonetheless, mate, you've done a great season, and you and Kelly have been fantastic to watch in Audiosport Pro Lab. So congratulations on P3.
Yeah, cheers, man. I'd just like to take the opportunity, because I don't get to speak to you as often, so congratulations to Gary and Matt and constructors, and congratulations on the championship, Matt. This one counts because it's in pro. Well done.
Yeah.
Finally, Matt gets the recognition from Sutty, so thank you very much for that, Sutty. And we'll now move on to the P2, man. Gary, once again, a fantastic race from yourself and Sutty Apex. Always a pleasure to watch you two racing. P2, but nonetheless, you get the constructors. You are now a 3-time constructors champion. Not an all bad season, considering you're in the Mercedes as well.
Nah, not bad. Like I said, still getting used to the car. I'm gutted for that last race because I thought I had a chance to win on that. I was sort of reeling in Fury. I don't know whether his tyres had gone off or he was just sort of calm down a bit so he didn't make a mistake. But I could see the numbers were coming down, but then I made a mistake, and then let's just have some fun with Sutty and put on a good show for the fans.
Well, this first time it's ever happened. It's finally taken 6 seasons, but you've gone a season without a single win. But nonetheless, it's been very good watching you race it. You've had moments of brilliance as you normally do, but talk us about this season. Obviously, a very different challenge. Obviously, with the joining with Matt in the Mercedes-Benz, not having your brother with you as well. It's been a difficult season to kind of adapt and learn new things for sure.
Yeah, teammates isn't really an issue. I can drive with anyone who knows how I drive and how we can work together. Issue was I've had a new wheel, obviously, at the end of last season, so I'm still kind of getting used to that, and the car's been a bit of a challenge, but like I said, I've found a few tweaks that work for my driving, and hopefully we can carry that forward if Matt's available next season.
But the main question is Jaeger Motorsport returning in the Mercedes-Benz as the same partnership?
Still to be discussed.
But nonetheless, congratulations on the P2 here tonight. P4 in the standings you got in the end, so congratulations on that one as well, and you two enjoy your Jaeger.
Lovely, cheers mate, well done Matt, and good race there, Fury and Sutty, well done boys, good season.
Cheers man, don't be sick on the tent.
As we will move on to your race winner here, your runner-up for the season, Fury. Not the end of the season you probably would have wanted. You could have possibly got Matt towards the end of the season, but probably just a little bit too far away. But nonetheless, a very dominant end to the race, and well done for just creeping that back, because at one point it definitely looked like the title was gone.
Yes, wasn't very confident for tonight anyways, because in the past 48 hours, after an update on a different game, it crashed my entire PlayStation.
Oh God.
Ruined it again, just like my old one, and the fact that luckily I had Project Cars 2 on disc, I was able to get it on and working. But yeah, I think I've got to look into my settings, because that didn't feel right at all. Well,
nearly didn't have any rivalry for them, Matt, for this race. But nonetheless, you've had an awesome season. Also, would like to say as well, you have been the dominant with race wins. Most race wins to your name. You've had 7. Overtaker's had 6. Matt has had 5. But obviously the consistency was the issue this season. Matt obviously a lot more consistent. But nonetheless, you've got to be happy with the most race wins this season in the Pro.
Yes, obviously coming up from last season and going in, staying in the Merc, it was kind of just stick with it, see what happens. But I knew that I was going to struggle with how the pace of Matt and Overtaker had. It wasn't going to be sort of like an easy fight at all. But I just tried to do the best I could, and obviously Matt and Overtaker at the start of the season had it, and Matt just had it throughout the entire season.
Obviously, with this season as well, Mazda hasn't been here to help you out, not really been there when needed. So, obviously, Teletubby Motorsport has been struggling this season. But, obviously, with the news of possibly Holty being moved up into Pro as well, could we possibly see a partnership with yourself and Holty and keep the Teletubby Motorsport name carrying on?
Maybe. So it's all in good time.
Well, we've got a very long break, a 6 weeks break ahead of us. But nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win, and also congratulations on the season. You've been a star once again. So, and also congratulations on the Touring Car Championship in the mid-season. So well done for that as well.
Yeah, congratulations, Matt, on the constructors and the title. Good fight.
Yeah, cheers, man. Well done. Good fight all season, buddy.
As we do now move on to your Pro winner, Matt, P4 in that one. Obviously not the way you wanted to end the season, but nonetheless, you are Simplay Motorsport's Season 6 Pro Champion. You have now put your name alongside of Gary 131 and Alpha Dub 16, the only 3 people to win in Pro. How does it feel to be among those 3?
I know Gary 131. I've never heard of the other bloke, but
neither have I, to be honest. He sounds like a has-been, to be honest.
No, it's an honour to be up with yourself and Gary. You know, Gary took the first 2, you took the last 3, and I've had the privilege of commentating on all 3, and it's been fantastic seeing to be on that list now with you boys. It's special. Pro-Am last year, technically championships have been in F1, Pro-Am and Pro on the bounce. So it's a bit of momentum at the minute, as Gary would like to say. It's just a shame I didn't get that GT5 one to make it 4 on the bounce.
Obviously, next
We won't
season.
go there, Dan.
I mean, YouTube says it all. But anyway, obviously comparing it to the Pro-Am and the F1, how does this compare to the other two?
Different challenge completely, because the F1, you've got Gary and Sutty when he was available, and Green Pies in that when they pushed me hard. In this, you've had Gary, Fury, Sutty, Overtaker, Andy at the start of the season, and Plava's been good at times. Peaceful's been fantastic at times. Master's had pace at times, so was Big. So a lot more of a challenge. The only one I really felt confident driving and beating was Mazda and Plava, because I know Mazda. I've raced with Mazda for 16, 17 years, and Plava I had the better of last season, so that was it. Raced with Gary a lot in the past, and it's always been close, and Gary's always had my numbers. So the come away with this is mega. Honestly, it's brilliant.
Obviously, let's a brief word on your teammate. Obviously, between you two, first time that you two obviously get to race together in GT3s. Obviously, Aston Martin, it worked very well in F1. You basically just carried that on from the F1s pretty much to this, wasn't it?
Gary said it himself. He can race with anyone, and you know what? Gary's one of them guys that you can race with, because he's brilliant. He'll give you advice. He'll help you if you need help, and he takes advice on board if you've got a few tips for him. And you know, Gary's just a fantastic teammate. I've had the pleasure of teaming with him at Aston Martin in F1 and at Racing Point on a previous league in F1 as well, in which we'd had a fairly good partnership in that one as well. And Gary's just one of them guys that you can just team with. He's a good guy, and you know, it's a pleasure as always to team with such a legend here at Simplay.
Well, obviously now you got the crown of Pro Champion. Obviously 6 weeks time, 6 weeks break, but not quite end of racing. You're obviously going to be competing in ACC. So a little bit of a kind of keeping your body flowing, keeping the muscles moving and the brain working. But returning for season 7, possibly a partnership back with Gary again in a Mercedes-Benz, or as you thinking of something else. And obviously the rumours of so many drivers possibly returning or new faces. Are you going to be able to defend that title in Season 7?
Next season's going to be really tough, and I would just like to confirm right now that Jaeger Motorsport will be back on the grid next season with myself and Gary. Car yet to be confirmed, but me and Gary will be back next year to defend our crown. It's going to be such a tough season next year with so many returning faces and new faces, and if yourself and Jamie are back as well, it's just going to be such a gigantic season. It's going to be one that the fans aren't going to want to miss, and let me tell you that me and Gary are going to be ready for next year. We're going to be ready for it, and the target's back on Gary's back, and the target's on my back in Pro for the first time, and you know, bring it on, I say. I cannot wait.
As we've just received news, there will be a team already announced. Still need a name and car, but Little Leach has just come forward to announce that he'll be partnering with myself for Season 7. So,
Gary, bring it on!
Game on.
One Leachy brother against the other. Myself and Matt, we're carrying on our rivalry from GT5. Season 7 is going to hot up.
Are we available for the Donington Park podium, you know, boxing pictures we had the other season with the 4 of us?
But nonetheless, congratulations, Matt, on the Pro Championship. Jamie, let's wrap this all up. Obviously, let's get your driver of the day, driver of the season.
Driver of the day is going to go to Kelly. Driver of the season goes to Matt. And what a night! Well done to Matt on wrapping the drivers' title up. He's been fantastic all season. Every single driver has been fantastic all season as well. Driving fantastically and putting on a good show, and can't wait for next season to see whether I'll be on the grid or not, and battling with you and Matt.
Can we just have a big thanks to Jamie's mum as well, Dan?
Yeah, obviously, we would like to say a massive thank you to Jamie's mum for making an appearance every single week. So, she, what's your mum's name, Jamie?
Lisa.
Yes, massive Lisa. Congratulations to Lisa Brasier for making every single round.
Well done,
so, well done, Lisa, for that one. But, I'm going to wrap things off here at Simplay Motorsport. The main championship has come to an end. Pro Am champion is Lil Leach, and your team is Pick and Mix Motorsport. for the pros, it is Jaeger Motorsport, who are the constructors, and Matahimovic, who is your pro champion. Can those guys defend their titles as we return back in about 6 or 7 weeks' time? Can Matt carry on his championship winning streak as he heads to ACC? But more importantly, make sure you tune in on Sunday night as the F2s will return once again as we head to Saudi Arabia for the next round of the season, as we head to Jeddah for the next round of the season. Jamie's looking forward to it. I'm dreading it massively. But make sure you tune in at 7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. BST.
for the next round of that. And also ACC will be back live once again next Thursday with myself bringing you the action, and I really dislike the game, but nonetheless I'll make sure I bring you the action. But it is Matt who is champion. Is now 6 weeks to recover, who is going to come back on top. Massive thank you to all the admin team, massive thank you to the stewards, also massive thank you to the drivers, and also thank you for Jamie for joining me in the commentary box as well, and also Matt for the pro-ams as well. But that is it here at Simplay Motorsport. Tune in 6 weeks time as we will return back on track, but for now it's good night.